Hello beautiful people, I hope you're all well. So today we're going to be finding out how people view you and see you versus what the actuality of who you are is. You might kind of find, I want to say, your genuine self in both sides of the coin. But hopefully this kind of gives you, I want to say, a bit of leeway into some self-awareness. So let's jump in, you guys. Okay, so pile 1, you will be the Queen of Wands. Pile 2, you will be the Death card. And pile 3, you will be the King of Cups. So take your time, pause the video if you need to, and the timestamps will be in the description box below. Okay, so hi pile 1, let's find out how people see you versus who you truly are. Okay, so let's take a look at the first side of the equation, pile 1. In terms of how people see you, being that you guys chose the Queen of the Wands, the Queen of the Wands? The Queen of Wands, it's kind of funny actually that I said the Queen of the Wands. It's really showing me here that you guys do have this this powerful energy that people pick up on. I want to say people do essentially view you as being a queen or a king here. I want to say you stand very tall in who you are, pile 1, and you're really not afraid to kind of, I want to say things as they are, interestingly enough. I also think that people view you here as being very fiery. I also feel like you guys are really not afraid to challenge whoever. I feel like you're genuinely unafraid of speaking up for yourself and speaking up for others when the time and the occasion sincerely calls for it. Very, very interesting. I also feel like people definitely view you here as being very attractive, pile 1. And I have no doubt that you are genuinely attractive. That is who you are, pile 1. Let's clear that confusion up if there was any. Another thing that people see about you guys, very interesting. So we have Pluto coming out and we have the moon. It's really showing me here that people view you, I want to say, as being very intense. I feel like people could also view you as being very emotional types, secretive types, even for example, pile 1, if you don't perhaps show your vulnerable side that often, people do kind of pick up, I want to say, on this emotional, sensitive side that you may kind of have. And I want to say this fieriness within you actually comes from the fact that I think that you do feel very deeply for people here, pile 1, and you feel into circumstances that you think are unjust or, you know, incorrect in some kind of way. Very interesting. There is also this energy to you, pile 1, where people do kind of feel like you're mysterious in a sense because they see this boldness to you, but they maybe don't see the more vulnerable aspects of you a lot of the time. There's a sense that you're quite mysterious in a way to people, and they can't, you know, completely gauge all your layers here. People also see you with the Rest and Rejuvenation card in reverse, and also with Patience in reverse. I want to say, as being the kind of person that wants what you want and you want it now. Maybe you are impatient types here, pile 1. People view you as being constantly on the go, constantly busy, constantly kind of doing something here. People think that you're very, I want to say, you're very motivated, and sometimes you find it hard maybe to take a break in a sense. Very interesting. People do pick up on this, like I said, intuitive and deep side to you, actually, pile 1. With the Daughter Spirit card, people may think that you are perhaps a spiritual type in a way, or you have this kind of intuitive side to you where you kind of just know things. I want to say you know things about people without them having to kind of say. I also feel like you guys are very adept at knowing when somebody is telling you the truth and when they are presenting who they really are, or whether they are just being fake, right? Very, very interesting. With the woman holding a coin coming out here, I want to say people feel that you are very focused on your work. Again, very motivated, very determined. People do, again, pick up on this, I want to say, strong, self-confident energy with you that you exude, pile one. And I want to say, actually, pile one, what's kind of interesting is that I feel like this confidence and this boldness really is who you are. I would say you largely do accurately present yourself to the world, pile one, but I feel like what you tend to hide more, understandingly enough, right, as well, pile one, is your more vulnerable and perhaps sensitive side here, for sure. People also perceive you, I want to say, as maybe being successful, or I want to say they perceive you perhaps as being quite grounded, like you have a good head on your shoulders, I want to say. And it's kind of funny as well how people are picking up on these different sides to you, where they're viewed as being the Queen of Wands, but they also, with this one Grace card, they feel like you're very graceful. So what's kind of interesting is here, I think that people pick up on the fact that when you do genuinely get fired up and passionate about something, I feel like you do present yourself as being generally quite grounded, in a sense, but they pick up that you are, I want to say, very authentic, in that you don't just kind of pop up for the wrong reasons, you know. Very, very interesting here, very interesting indeed. With the Puffin Partnership card coming out, people also feel like you would make a really wonderful and great partner here. People kind of perceive you, I want to say, as also being a really wonderful friend. Like you really genuinely do care about the people that you are close to, right? I think that people also perceive you as being a very loyal person, pile one. And I would say for some of you as well, it could be that you do perhaps come across as being more colourful in ways, or like you're really unafraid to kind of show what some people would consider to be quirky. Very, very beautiful, pile one. People also perceive you as having strong connections and a strong community, maybe being very family oriented as well, in a sense. I want to say with the King of Swords coming out in reverse, people can perceive you, and I want to say particularly people that don't know you well, I feel like they can kind of judge you at times and think that you are like you have a very hard shell, I want to say, and that you are perhaps too intimidating for them, to a point where they think that you would maybe be mean to them, or they just feel like they're very intimidated by you. Very, very interesting. Again, kind of showcasing the fact that you are not actually very easy to know, in a sense, pile one. I think that when it comes to the deeper side of you, I feel like somebody is really going to have to earn your trust to kind of understand these layers that are going on with you, pile one. Very interesting. People perceive you as being very direct as well, like you just kind of say things. The Magician coming out is showing me here that people perceive you as being I want to say maybe witchy in a way, like maybe some of you actually are witchy. For others, I want to say they do feel like you're very charming. There's something very charming by virtue of you just kind of being you, pile one, and I feel like people are easily kind of caught up in your mystery, in your spell, in your layers. Very, very interesting. People also perceive you here as being very creative people, and that I want to say you do very much shine and stand out, pile one, for sure. People, interestingly enough as well, with the Strength card coming out in reverse, I want to say people feel like they don't want to get on your bad side. I think that people fear what they perceive as being your bad side. So I would say when you do get angry and you do pop off here, I feel like people can perceive you as well as being very, I want to say, fired up and really emotional at times. but I want to say more so when you feel like there is you feel like you're defending something or you're defending yourself. I feel like people see your emotions kind of come out more in those situations. They do pick up 1000% on your inner strength here, pile 1 as well. Very interesting indeed. I also feel like people pick up on the fact that you are people that have been through a lot. I think with the Tower card coming out, you've had experiences, I want to say, that have maybe forced you to not use your voice, or maybe taught you that it wasn't okay for you to speak your truth, or it wasn't okay for you to be you. And I feel like people pick up on the fact that you've kind of taken these experiences that have maybe, I want to say, tried to bring you down, and just use that actually to be more bold and more big than ever. Very, very interesting. The Emperor coming out as well is showing me that people feel like you are, I want to say, you're a leader. Like you do have a lot of authority to you, Power 1, in the way that you speak, the way that you are. People also perceive that you will not take any shit from them, and they do know this as well. Very, very interesting. So, Power 1, let's take a look into, I guess, who you are underneath some of these layers here. So, Power 1, when it comes to who you are underneath these layers, we have the Temperance card coming out. Very interesting actually how people perceive you as being like the Queen of Wands, which I want to say is different, very much so different to the Temperance energy, which is this very I want to say this very grounded, very patient energy, and I want to say actually you come across as being very fiery and very passionate, which is genuinely who you are, Power 1. But actually, this sense of passion that you have, it really comes from this sense of really having a strong sense of justice, actually. I feel like you're so tapped into who you are that when you genuinely do get fired up about something here, Pile 1, it's coming from the fact that I think that you are meant to teach people, in a sense, how to kind of stand up for themselves more, how to speak their truth more, and how to be more bold, just like you. And actually, this energy, it really massively comes from Pile 1. I want to say the fact that deep down you are genuinely really loving souls, and some people mistake your authenticity, I want to say, for coldness at times perhaps, but actually the heart of who you are really is this genuine loving soul. It's kind of like with you, Pile 1, when you love something, you love it with everything that you have. You are kind of all or nothing types in a way, actually. Very, very interesting. I also see here with the Summer card and with Jupiter coming out, you are a person that does believe in freedom. You believe in your freedom of speech. You believe in freedom of being who you are and letting people also be who they are. I also want to say here as well, with the Summer card coming out, this is genuinely confirming that you do have this really strong creativity that runs through you, Pile 1, and people are certainly not wrong when they are picking up on this, for sure. Very, very interesting. There is this sense as well, Pile 1, that you actually hold a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but I want to say you showcase this knowledge and wisdom by actually playing the part and by literally just being you. That is how you teach people, Pile 1. Interesting as well. In terms of who you are, actually you are grounded in a lot of ways. Even amongst all this fire that you have, you genuinely are a very grounded soul, because you are so strong and you are so solid in who you are, Pile 1. You are unbreakable people, without a doubt. And like I said, this confidence that comes through you, Pile 1, that is genuinely who you are. I feel like you really do know what you are worth, and you are not afraid to speak up for your boundaries, and that is a really beautiful thing, Pile 1. Very beautiful indeed. The World card coming out in reverse as well. In terms of who you are, people are not wrong in a sense when they pick up on this kind of secretiveness to you, because I feel like with the world in reverse, you do go into your own private world, pile one, that I think is something for you and for you only. I feel like you do really like to explore who you are and explore maybe your emotions and feelings in a more kind of private way here. Very, very interesting. I feel like at times as well, you really like to be alone, like you really like your space, you need to withdraw. And I think that this really helps you as well, pile one, because it's kind of like when you do that, you actually allow yourself to have enough energy to you know, really stand out and I want to say, you know, act with passion in the way that you do, pile one. Very interesting. In terms of who you also are, very funny that we have the High Priestess card coming out here. People are not wrong when they pick up on the fact, pile one, that you are very intuitive souls. Again, this element of secrecy is here, right? This element of layers, this mystery that you hold. I feel like you are very mysterious soul in a way, pile one, because of all these different layers that you have. And I do actually feel like my pile ones are emotional people as well, for sure. I really do. Again, kind of showing me a lot of this does stay hidden, or you kind of explore this more privately, for sure. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I also feel like with the the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups coming out here, I would not be surprised if a lot of you in this pile are very empathic. You are very empathetic people, actually, and this passion that you feel, it really does come from the fact that you genuinely feel people's pain and you understand them so deeply here. I feel like my pile ones can sometimes understand other people better than they can actually understand themselves. Very interesting. I feel like a lot of you in this pile as well, you could be really gifted psychics, to tell you the truth. Very interesting. And at the heart of who you are is this genuine love, this genuine care, this protectiveness. Really, really beautiful. I feel like you have extremely large hearts. It's also kind of funny as well that we have the Two of Cups, kind of contrasting to how people view you as being, I want to say, really, really independent, which you genuinely are, pile one. You are independent, but I feel like people don't always see just how much you are a human being that also craves connection, that craves love, that craves closeness. And I feel like at the heart of who you are, you really do crave genuine intimacy, and I want to say being with a person or people that can allow you to be vulnerable and feel safe in that without kind of taking away your sense of power. This is really beautiful, pile one, indeed. I feel like with the Ace of Swords coming out here, I feel like you guys do genuinely know who you are. You're very authentic people, and you know, you're the High Priestess at the end of the day. I do feel like the Ace of Swords coming out is that you are not afraid to just say things as they are, pile one. You are very direct people, actually, in a sense. And what's actually interesting about you, pile one, I feel like you do genuinely start to unravel your layers more and more when you start to feel safe with somebody. It feels like you really crave connection and you really need that in your life to kind of thrive, being the bold, confident people you are, pile one. Really, really beautiful energy. So pile one, I do hope that resonated. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really beautiful week. Bye. Okay, so hi pile two, let's jump into your reading. So being that you guys chose the Death card right here, I want to say the way that people view you, pile two, as being very, very persistent souls. I want to say that have really overcome a hell of a lot here and have actually used a I want to say all the experiences that they have to just gain more wisdom. People also view you as being the kinds of people that really do grow and change a hell of a lot. For some of you, people perceive you as being very connected to the underworld. I want to say to mystical things, maybe occult things, even for some of you. Very interesting. It's also funny as well how we have the Raven Shaman card coming out with that. Again, showing me here that people view you as being very connected to spirit, very intuitive, very deep souls. And it's kind of funny how this shamanic energy with the crows kind of symbolizing death in a sense, like the card that you chose, right? Pile one. It's showing me here that people again may perceive you as having this very strong connection to the underworld and to I want to say to darker, deeper things that you are willing to explore that other people may not perhaps do that. I want to say maybe for some of you as well, people could perceive you as being very psychic, maybe medium, something like that. Very interesting. With the water card coming out as well, people perceive you here as being I want to say really deep types, people that feel things very deeply. I think that people pick up on this very empathetic quality that you have. People can also view you as well as having this kind of soft nature to you in a sense. Very, very interesting. It's kind of like they feel that you're very intense on one hand, but actually there is a lot of softness there to you as well. Very, very interesting. I think that with the strategy card coming out in reverse, people think that you like to kind of go with the flow, maybe that you don't like to overly plan things. I feel like people kind of see you as being a person that does trust in themselves, and if they have a vision, they just know somehow they'll be able to reach that vision without kind of knowing exactly what the plan is. Very, very interesting. People may perceive you as well as being perhaps types that don't like to be overly organized, like you like to just follow your gut and maybe just do things as and when you feel called to. Very interesting. I also see here with the contract card coming out with the new partner card, people perceive you as being the kind of person that is really looking to be with their soulmate or their twin flame. I feel like you are the types of people that do not settle when it comes to love. I feel like people pick up on this very romantic, loving, very lovey-dovey kind of quality to you here, pile 2. And they do perceive that in a strong way. At the center of who you are, there really is a lot of love. With the daughter romance in reverse and with walking away, people also perceive that if you feel that you're not being treated with the level of love you deserve, or you feel that, for example, you're in a connection with somebody and you genuinely feel like, okay, this is not my person, you are unafraid to walk away from that. People perceive you as being strong enough to walk away from things that are not serving them here. And I want to say that is 1000% correct. I do think that people are definitely picking up on a lot of qualities that you genuinely are pile 2. I feel like you are very authentic people here, without a doubt. I also want to say with the Page of Pentacles coming out in reverse, people perceive you as being the kind of individuals that really do have a lot of knowledge. It's not like you're a student or you're immature. I feel like people genuinely think you really are very wise souls here, very deep souls, maybe even old souls, I would go as far as saying. And you have lived through, I want to say, many different experiences, painful, difficult, maybe traumatic even, and somehow you've managed to, I want to say, glow up from this, pile 2. Very, very interesting. The Six of Swords as well is showing me here that people perceive you as being the kinds of individuals that have had to, I want to say, really just endure a lot, for sure. And you've had to kind of move a lot. Maybe you've had to change your life, or you have changed yourself a lot as well, and people pick up on this about you. The Hierophant in reverse as well is showing me here people perceive you again as having this this wisdom that really just comes from you. I think that people view you as well as being, I want to say, like a teacher, like you could teach other people as well through your wisdom. But actually, I want to say, pile 2, people perceive you as really having taught yourself a lot. Actually, I feel like you are the kinds of people that I want to say thrive, maybe being self-taught in a sense. I think that people also perceive you as well as being the kinds of individuals that are going to follow and trust what their gut tells them no matter what, and they don't need to listen to anyone else or have confirmation on something that they literally know here. Very, very interesting. The Knight of Swords coming out in reverse. People feel like sometimes you maybe don't 100% tell them everything, or you keep certain things yourself. For some of you as well, you could be, I want to say, kind to a point where you genuinely dislike hurting other people's feelings. I feel like people perceive you as being the kinds of individuals, I want to say, that can be genuinely truthful when you really feel like you need to be, but I feel like maybe sometimes, pile 2, people perceive that you can hold your truth back a little bit. I want to say, just to not kind of hurt other people in the process. Very, very interesting. People feel like you can kind of have this secretive side to you as well, where you maybe don't show everyone your cards or tell everyone what you're thinking and feeling. Even though they're picking up on this very emotional quality to you. The Four of Wands coming out as well is showing me here that people perceive you, I want to say, pile 2, as being I want to say, the kind of person that really genuinely does deserve their soulmate, and also that you would make a really wonderful and amazing partner here, pile 2. People do pick up on this sense of love and nurturingness with you, and I feel like they're genuinely not wrong about that. Very, very interesting. Also, the 111 coming out here is showing me again that people perceive you as maybe being spiritual in a sense, having a lot of wisdom, knowledge. Okay, so in terms of who you actually are, pile 2, let's take a look at that. So pile 2, very funny how people perceive you as being like the Hierophant in reverse, right? And you guys are literally being represented, your true self is being represented by the Hierophant here. It's showing me that, pile 2, I think that a lot of the knowledge and the wisdom that you have, all this experience you have, I do feel like you genuinely, or you generally tend to keep this to yourself. I think you do have moments when you express this to people and they kind of, you know, they are genuinely picking up on this wisdom. But actually, it's showing me here that you have some kind of higher calling, especially with the Lion higher calling card, to teach people things. Actually, I feel like my pile 2s, all this knowledge you've taught yourself, all these things that you have learned through your experiences, you are meant to use this some way, somehow, to make the world a better place, essentially. It's also interesting as well how people are picking up on this very intuitive quality to you. And look at this, we have the 6th chakra card representing the third eye, right? And also the 5th element being about the energy of spirit. It's showing me here that you are really, really spiritual, I want to say intuitive, probably psychic people here. And you have this ability to see into things that other people cannot genuinely see. Really, really interesting here indeed. I also want to say with my my pile 2s, I want to say with the Spring card coming out here as well, I feel that you guys are very you're very optimistic people, and actually you trusting in your vision, and maybe not knowing exactly how you're going to get there, it really comes from the fact that you hold optimism and you hold trust in God, essentially, that somehow, some way, everything's going to be all right, because you are trusting in you and your inner compass. This is so beautiful, pile 2. I'm also seeing here as well with the 2nd chakra card, it's showing me that in terms of who you are, I want to say you are very you are very emotional people, pile 2. You do feel things very deeply. I think a lot of you here are very empathic souls. You're very empathetic souls as well. You have a hell of a lot of creativity that runs through you, and you have a large amount, I want to say you could be very sexual or sensual types. You are the types of people that really love connection, like you love deep connection. Beautiful. I feel like your soul as well also calls you to deeply connect with people and to be vulnerable with them. There is this sense that, you know, you guys having this vision of, you know, I only want to be with the right person for me, fuck everyone else. It comes from the fact that you crave the deepest amount of connection that you can possibly have. And I think that pile 2, although people can perceive you as being soft in a sense, and there is this softness to you, but actually you have a really fierce soul. You have this, I want to say, this very zealous side to you, where you are so strong in yourself, pile 2, to a degree that people actually, they genuinely maybe don't see the full extent of this. They maybe don't see exactly the things that you have been through and the experiences that you've had. And I think that actually with my pile 2s, even though people do pick up that you have been through a lot and they are genuinely correct about that, I want to say they don't exactly understand how somebody like you who has been through a hell of a lot can somehow turn this into a beautiful situation where you've used your traumatic experiences to actually feel deeper into people. I feel like you guys are very strong alchemists here indeed. Very, very beautiful. I think for some of you as well, I feel like your intuitive and your psychic capabilities have definitely been opened and heightened through your traumas, essentially, actually, which is what happens with a lot of psychic people, right? It's like they have shitty experiences, difficult childhoods, because they've learnt that. I want to say, pile 2, somehow, some way, you have learnt that in order for you to protect yourself, you need to feel into other people to understand and maybe detect certain dangers, to protect yourself here. Very, very interesting indeed. I also feel like with the cornucopia card coming out, you guys definitely are natural mediums here without a doubt. I feel like you have a gift for perhaps helping people pass over, and I also feel like connecting to entities or energies from different realms. Very, very interesting. The Lovers coming out here as well is showing me, I want to say pile 2, it feels like in terms of who you are, I feel like you probably do, or you will meet your twin flame or your soulmate that will mirror a lot of your qualities, and you will see yourself through them a lot. I feel like you guys as well probably have some kind of calling in life to meet a special person and to go on some kind of journey with them. And I think that you're genuinely tapping into this for sure, pile 1. Very interesting. I mean, pile 2. We also see here as well who you really are. The High Priestess coming out with the 7 of Swords. There is this secretiveness to you, pile 2, where actually I feel like you've uncovered a lot of your own layers, pile 2, but I feel like Spirit is, I want to say, telling you here that there are certain things that you are yet to embrace about yourself. Maybe you have like strong shadow sides or something like that, pile 2, but I feel like Spirit is saying to you here, your shadow side and these qualities that people are maybe not seeing about you as much, or you're not showcasing as much. I feel like they're wanting you to kind of embrace this and to show this more, or to make peace with this in some kind of sense. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I also want to tell you guys as well, with the Ace of Cups coming out in reverse, it's showing me here that my pile 2s are people that I think can connect so deeply with other people because they have learned to kind of connect with themselves, and they are always on this journey of trying to connect and to know themselves even deeper. Very, very interesting. I do feel like psychology and shadow work are things that probably do interest my pile 2s as well, because you have this sense or this side to you where you really feel like you need to investigate yourself, and you feel very called to do this essentially so you can teach people how to also be on this journey like you, pile 2. Very, very interesting. I also want to say here, with the 4 of Cups coming out in reverse, in terms of who you really are, I feel like when you're really called to, pile 2, you are unafraid to take action. The unicorn coming out in terms of who you are, infinite possibilities, is showing me that you are truly a very magical soul, a magical being. And I want to say you're very unique people here, pile 2. I think that people can underestimate you as well, in a sense. With the 4 of Cups coming out in reverse, maybe they kind of perceive you here as being the kinds of people that do think about things a lot and they need a lot of self-reflection, which I think is true to an extent. But actually, in terms of who you are, you're not afraid to act, pile 2. You are really, really powerful, empowered people without a doubt. Very, very interesting. So pile 2, that is what I have for you. I do hope that resonated. I hope you have a really beautiful week, and thank you so much for watching. Bye. Okay, so hi pile 3, let's jump into your reading and first look at how people see you. Okay, so with you guys choosing the King of Cups here, interesting. I want to say people perceive you as being very nurturing. Actually, people perceive you as being very protective. I want to say they perceive you as being very emotionally balanced, where you can kind of, I want to say, empathize with people and also account for your own emotions, but you never kind of lose touch with reality. You never, I want to say, take your feet off the ground. And this is how people perceive you, as being very grounded here, very emotionally mature. Very, very interesting here as well. Very interesting. With the West card coming out here, people perceive you as being the types that are very focused on yourself. You're focused on self-growth. You're focused on self-love, actually, massively here. You are focused on understanding yourself and how, I want to say, you can take the things that you have learned to just continue to grow and to keep evolving here. Very interesting. People view you as being very self-focused and extremely mature here, without a doubt. Very interesting. I also see with the World card coming out in reverse, and also with the Angel of Love in reverse, I feel like people perceive you as being very independent. I want to say, to a point where people may perceive you as being the kinds of people that maybe are not very interested in love and are more kind of interested, I want to say, in being in their own world, in understanding themselves. People may view you as the types that need to periodically withdraw to kind of regain your energy and to connect back to yourself. Maybe people view you as well, pile 3, as being introverted at times. Very, very interesting. People also think that with the Indecision card in reverse, that you are the types of people that very much know what you want and you go for what you want. They view you here as making, I want to say, like a good decision maker. Like when you make a decision, you're very confident that you've made the right decision for you. Very, very interesting. And I want to say, from a place that is balanced with both your head and your heart, is how people perceive you. With the appreciation card coming out, I want to say people really appreciate you, pile 3. I also feel that with the Peacock Vibrancy card coming out, people perceive you as being I want to say, they think that you have a lot of self-worth, you have a lot of value here. They think you're very attractive as well, pile 3. I think that you have a lot of admirers, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say. They also view you as being people that are self-confident, and also, you know, like I said, you know your own worth and value. Very interesting. The Alk Nobility here is again showcasing this energy where I think that people are even with the Hierophant coming out here, people feel like you're very focused on your career. They feel like you could be very pragmatic, logical types, very practical people. I feel like people pile 3 are especially drawn to you because they kind of wish that they could be in this energy that you exude, pile 3, of I want to say being so grounded and holding your head so high all the time. With the Hierophant card coming out, people do perceive you as being a boss. No cap, pile 3. They feel like you are very capable people here, and that you are meant to climb very high, I think, in life. Like, you are meant to succeed. People also perceive you here as being very wise, having a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and being able to kind of teach people in a sense as well. Very interesting. I also feel that with the Justice card coming out, people perceive you as having a very strong sense of justice. Maybe some of you actually work in the legal field, but you don't have to. It's really showing here that you are, I want to say, people that are extremely truthful here. And if you think that something is wrong, pile 3, you are going to speak up and you're going to say something and do something about it. I also think that people view you as being extremely fair here. I want to say, like, non-selfish types, in the sense that you don't like to trample on other people to kind of get what you want. I feel like you are very, very fair in that sense, and very ethical people as well. I feel like you care about doing things in a way that is ethical and fair, especially when it comes to your work as well, pile 3. I also feel that with the Dragon Supernatural card coming out here, people feel like there's something very powerful, fiery about you, even in a sense, and also very mystical. I feel that people pick up on this magicalness about you, even though they do pick up on this very grounded energy that you exude, pile 3. Very, very interesting. It's funny how this card also says you are the ancient wise sage, so people do view you again as being very mature, very wise here. Also people that have, you know, changed a lot, and it's kind of like when you rise above challenges, pile 3, you do it with so much dignity and so much grace. Very, very interesting. Funny how with the Page of Cups coming out in reverse again, showing me here that people think that you're not the types that are just gonna, you know, force, you know, head over heels in love with somebody straight away, or you're going to easily kind of open up your heart to someone. I feel that people do again see you in this very independent kind of light, like you don't need anyone. Very interesting indeed, pile 3. Okay, so let's compare this with who you are as well, pile 3. What does Spirit want to kind of bring up on this other side? Okay, so pile 3, so if we look on the flip side of the coin, in terms of who you are, we have the Knight of Swords representing your energy, which is showing me here that I want to say, although you do kind of have this softer quality to you, for sure, pile 3, and I do believe that you are genuinely very empathetic people. This doesn't mean that you slack when it comes to telling the truth. I do think that when it comes to who you really are, you will just say things as they are. You're very direct people, and I think that you are the kinds of people that appreciate authenticity. You are very truthful people, and again, I feel like you do have an extremely strong sense of what is right and wrong here, pile 3. Also funny how we have the 5th element representing your energy. Also with the Moon card coming out, the 5th element is very tied to this energy of spirit. It is something that is unexplainable. It's not like a physical element, like for example earth, right, that we can kind of touch and feel physically, right? It's showing me here that you are people that are actually really intuitive. In terms of who you are, the Moon is a very mysterious card, pile 3. It's showing me that when it comes to who you are a mystery, and this really is who you are actually. But the truth is, underneath this, I want to say, pile 3, you actually are like this King of Cups, because there is a hell of a lot of emotion to you. There is a lot that you do feel that I think you kind of maybe keep to yourself. I want to say as a kind of self-preservation instinct here. I do think that what's kind of interesting about you, pile 3, it's funny how people view you as like this angel of love in reverse, you know, being very self-focused, not really that focused on love. And in terms of who you really are, you are the man holding a heart, irrespective of what your gender is, pile 3. In terms of who you are actually a person that really does crave genuine love, and you crave genuine connection with people. You have extremely big hearts, pile 3, and I think that this very ethical, moral side to you comes from the fact that you do genuinely have so much empathy here. And it's funny how at the heart of who you are, you actually have a lot of romanticism there, pile 3. And maybe this is something that is hidden deep down, pile 3, like very deep down, or perhaps you already kind of know this about yourself. And it's also funny how we have the happy family card coming out here. So maybe there are some of you here that do resonate with perhaps wanting to have a family at some point, or I want to say build this sense of family, build this sense of genuine connection, sense of love. Very, very interesting, pile 3. It's showing me here that you are the kinds of people that you do have this center of love actually, and I think that this romantic side that is kind of hidden with you, pile 3, with the Knight of Cups coming out, showing me this very thoughtful, loving side, this romantic side even. I want to say it stays hidden because of the things that you've been through, maybe the painful relationships that you've had. I want to say with my pile 3s as well, perhaps struggling with, I want to say this feeling of maybe if you've put your heart out there and you have maybe been rejected. I just want to let you know, pile 3, people reject things that they can't afford every single day. And I think that you are really starting to understand that rejection does not mean that we are not valuable. Sometimes it means we are too damn good for people and for things, and we are kind of being protected, I guess, in a sense there. Very, very interesting, pile 3. I also feel like you are the types of people that have been through more than you let on. I think that it would really take somebody getting to know and to earn your trust in order to uncover these very deep layers to you, pile 3, and being able to see beyond, I think, this more pragmatic side that you have. In terms of who you actually are as well, it's showing me here with the Fool coming out, and also with the 3 of Cups. You are the kinds of people that like to have fun. You came here for adventure. You came here to be yourself. I feel like you have humorous bones in your body, pile 3. I would even go as far as saying you can actually be like a child deep down. You are like a child, even though you are so mature on the other hand. But you do have this extremely lovely, fun-loving side to you. Very interesting. I also feel like it's kind of funny how people do perceive you as being very grounded. But in terms of who you are, with the 8 of Swords coming out, it's showing me here that maybe you are people that have really struggled with your mental health, with anxiety even. Maybe you do have a tendency to overthink at times, or you did. And it's showing me here that I think by virtue, pile 3, of you, I want to say being able to breathe, take a step out for yourself. You've been able to, I think, overcome this sense of anxiousness that you may have kind of dealt with. And I think the more that you go into yourself, pile 3, I feel like the less your anxiety or overthinking kicks in for sure, because you do have a really intuitive soul, pile 3, without a doubt. I'm also seeing here with the Dolphin Play card coming out, again showing me that you are this very funny person, this very sweet, loving person. It's showing me that you have a genuinely kind soul. I feel like my pile 3s are not nice people. You are genuinely kind people. I feel like you are not fake at all. I do think that, you know, you do keep certain parts of yourself to yourself, pile 3, but actually, you know, I feel like you're learning that if you're going to open up to someone, then they better be deserving of your love and your trust here, because you know what you're worth, pile 3, and you're not just gonna waste your time with people that are not deserving of your time, right? The higher calling lion card coming out, and it's also funny how we have a lion and a lioness together here. It's showing me here that your higher calling does have a lot to do with love, pile 3. You do feel a very strong higher calling. You have a higher purpose in this life. I want to say, pile 3, it's kind of like your purpose is to teach people in some kind of way. I also want to say here as well, part of your purpose, pile 3, is to actually find somebody that you genuinely feel like you can express this more romantic, vulnerable side to, somebody that's really going to value and understand that. And I feel like that is actually the direction you're going in, pile 3. Very, very interesting. And it's kind of funny how, even though this is who you are and what you desire, it's like you're really not needy for love at all from another person. I feel like you really do know how to nurture yourself, pile 3. Really, really beautiful. And actually this solid quality that people pick up on about you is very, very true, pile 3. Because you are represented by this energy of fire and the ram. It's showing me here that you really are very motivated people, and I think your desire for being grounded and for maybe being successful here, pile 3, it really does come from the fact that you love to take on challenges actually, and you love to overcome them, because you feel that in a way it makes you stronger, and you really do show this to yourself each and every time, pile 3. Really, really beautiful energy. I also feel like with the envy card in reverse, it's showing here that I feel that with my pile 3s, you've learned to understand your value and your worth, maybe by looking at, for example, what makes you feel jealous about other people, and kind of uncovering, I want to say, if you have felt insecure in times in your life and underconfident, what is stopping you from, being confident? What is it that you're picking up on about maybe somebody else that you feel that you can't have? And I feel that you've actually gone into yourself. You've understood, you know what, I really am worthy of the best, and I am the motherfucking best. And you are, you're bang on, pile 3. I feel like you really are genuinely confident people, and this is actually who you are. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So pile 3, that is what I have for you. I do hope that resonated. I hope you have a really beautiful week, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.